Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by golden fields and tall mountains, there lived a boy named Armin. He was just 15 years old, thin, with messy hair, and bright eyes that never stopped shining. His family was poor. Their house was nothing more than a tiny clay hut with a leaking roof. But inside Armin's heart lived something far bigger than that house, a dream. Every evening, while others played games or chatted in the market, Armin sat under the old banyan tree. In his hands, scraps of paper, wires, and broken tools he had collected from the junkyard. He believed he could create machines that would make life easier for everyone in the village. But whenever people saw him, they laughed. "Look at this fool," the villagers mocked. "He thinks he's some kind of inventor. Go help your father in the fields instead of wasting time with trash." Armin smiled, but inside the words hurt him deeply. Still, he whispered to himself, "One day they will understand." Life was not easy for Armin. His father worked from sunrise to sunset in the fields, earning just enough to buy food. His mother often worried. "Armin," she said one night while serving bread, "your father is tired. Stop playing with broken wires. You need to think about real work. Dreams do not fill empty stomachs." Armin lowered his head. He loved his parents. He wanted to help them. But his heart pulled him toward his inventions. At school, things were no better. His classmates mocked him. Teachers grew angry when he doodled machine sketches instead of solving math problems. "Fool," they called him again and again. The word followed him everywhere, at school, at home, in the fields. Sometimes Armin felt his chest tighten. He lay awake at night, staring at the cracked ceiling, thinking, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I am just wasting time." Tears often rolled down his cheeks in silence. But then, in the darkness, he imagined a day when his machines would light up the whole village, when children would study under electric bulbs instead of kerosene lamps, when farmers would use simple tools to ease their burden. He clenched his fists and whispered, "No, I am not a fool. I just see the world differently." One summer afternoon, while searching for metal scraps near the town, Armin met an old man at a repair shop. The man had silver hair, sharp glasses, and kind eyes. He noticed Armin carefully studying the gears of a broken fan. "Young boy," the old man said gently, "why are you so interested in this junk?" Armin hesitated, then replied, "Because inside this junk I see ideas. I want to build something new, something useful." The old man smiled. "Ah, people must call you a fool, don't they?" Armin's eyes widened. "Yes, every day." The old man placed his hand on Armin's shoulder. "Listen to me carefully. Every genius in history was first called a fool. The world laughs at what it cannot understand. But the laughter ends when the results appear. Remember, persistence is greater than talent." He handed Armin a small notebook. "Write your ideas here. Fail, learn, try again. One day, this book will become your treasure." Armin held the notebook close to his chest. That night, for the first time, he felt he was not alone. Someone believed in him. Armin's journey was long and painful. With the old man's words echoing in his heart, he began to work harder than ever. He spent sleepless nights under the dim light of a kerosene lamp, drawing, erasing, rebuilding. His first attempt was a small water pump to help farmers. It broke within minutes. Children laughed at him in the field. His father shook his head. "Armin, stop wasting your time." But Armin tried again. He used old bicycle chains, tin cans, and wires. This time, the pump worked for a few hours before stopping. His hands were covered in grease, his body ached, but his eyes sparkled with hope. Weeks turned into months. Failure after failure came. But Armin refused to give up. Sometimes he had no money for tools. He collected discarded screws and bolts from garbage heaps. Sometimes hunger forced him to pause, but hunger could not kill his fire. He wrote every failure in the notebook the old man had given him. turning each mistake into a lesson. One winter night, as cold winds blew through the village, Armin sat shivering under his blanket, staring at his unfinished machine. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "Why is it so hard?" he whispered. But then he remembered the old man's words. Persistence is greater than talent. Armin wiped his tears and tightened the final screw. "I will not stop," he said firmly. Finally, one bright morning, Armin carried his latest invention to the village square. It was a small machine made from bicycle parts, wood, and tin. People gathered, curious, and ready to laugh again. "This fool has built another toy," someone joked. But when Armin switched it on, the machine began pumping clean water from the well, filling buckets faster than 10 men could. The crowd gasped. Farmers rushed forward, their faces lit with wonder. "Is this real?" one shouted. The same villagers who had mocked him now stood silent, watching the boy they once called a fool transform into a genius before their eyes. News spread quickly. Soon, nearby towns invited Armin to show his invention. Teachers who once scolded him now praised him. His parents, with tears in their eyes, hugged him tightly. The boy who was once ignored was now celebrated. But Armin did not feel proud of the applause. He felt proud because he had proved to himself that he was never a fool.